Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. Happy hump day to all the people, okay? Look, we have another day of Diddy Gates, okay? The trial that everyone is watching, child, via Twitter, via TikTok, okay, via all other streaming things because we're having to read tweets and see other people's transcript of what is being said in court, okay? So, yeah, this is day 3 of the Diddy trial. It is also the second day of Cassie's testimony, and she was only being questioned by the prosecution. The rest of the week, we believe she would end up being cross-examined by the defense. So the next 2 days is probably going to get messier and messier because it'll be Diddy's people trying to basically prove her out to be either a liar, prove her out to be someone that is in cahoots, prove her out to be someone who just wants the money, okay? So it's going to be interesting in the next couple of days. You know, first thing first, y'all know what I want y'all to do. Make sure that you are already, one, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you've already liked the video, share the video as well. Subscribe, share, or comment in the comment section if you are here. I was already live early today, and I did not even plan to be live for 2 hours earlier today, but I was off work today. So that's why I was live earlier today at around 5 p.m. We had a good old long session going off on Tamar, but also discussing Hallie and DDG. We discussed Nene and Tamar being childish or whatever. And then the whole Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, and Kelly stuff. So if you are wondering about that stuff, that is a whole separate live. Go to that. Again, there's always other content up on the channel for you to watch. So go do that, okay? But today, right now, okay, I want to get into this foolishness. Now, I'm here. I had to put on my same sweat. It got cold. I had to put on my same, and it said choose happy, and I feel like we're discussing such. Oh, I hear it. We're discussing such, crazy things that's going on in the Diddyverse. We gotta choose happy. This gonna be my Diddy case sweatshirt, I believe, because it's bright, okay, it's full of life or whatever, and we have to choose some happiness around here. So look, if you are here watching live, thank you. If you are here watching replay, thank you. Okay. I appreciate the people who come around. Okay. Look, the tile sketch, because today's um court date, okay? Because I think even yesterday they had began with the conversation of what happened at the hotel. So I just believe they just had not seen the footage just yet. And according to all the reports, they're not even showing the anyone except the jury the video. Well, no, I think they're not seeing anything that's explicit. So maybe they did see the actual sorry, the actual video, because what was put out today, they said, okay, that the video was actually 15 minutes. We had only seen like what, a couple of minutes of it. And so the fact that Diddy's side kept on saying, oh well, what CNN put forth was the edited version. And I'm like, okay, so now we have seen the full version. It ain't no better. The full version is worse. Okay. Even though in the full version there's not any more physical violence. However, in the longer version, even seeing how intimidating he is, even seeing how he stands and kind of intimidates her, you see her like saying no, 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 to not have him come near her. Um, to see how aggressively calm he is, because to him, I'm Diddy. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me, and I'm not gonna, because I feel like by now we've all seen the video. Okay, I think we've seen it the first time. I don't think it's a reason to watch it again. If you want to, it's out there. Okay, it's free. It's on. I think it's on all the blogs. Okay, but we see how the security guard came up and stuff. So I don't feel like we need to rewatch it, because I'm like, child, I'm good on that. Okay. However, the tweets, okay, the tweets of, and again, shout out to Inner City Press, who I'm reading the tweets from him. Now again, all the tweets that I'm reading, all of the, what he's putting down here is, it's also summarized a little bit too. I don't want to pay to get the transcripts to fully. I don't want to do all that. I feel like this, we get the gist of what she's saying, because that's what he's putting around here, and that I can. What is this thing on here? Why is it being stupid? Okay, there we go. So that part is good. So we're gonna start where I left off yesterday. And this is day 2 of Cassie's testimony and her giving her thoughts about what happened. So, okay, now again, she's still under oath and stuff. She's looking at photographs and different like texts on her drive from her phones. They said, yesterday you testified yesterday you testified about, let me make this bigger. Hold on. There we go. I'm not gonna see it better. Yesterday you testified about Sean going armed to look for Suge Knight. She said yes to guns with him. He told you to ask the escorts if they were cops. She said, I would begin by saying I was not a cop. So Sean told you to do that, and she said yes. What happened when you fought back? Meaning, what happened when you fought back against this man who was absolutely insane? And then, she said, I did it more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent, want to push me harder. Now, when the objection, I feel like this is her experience. So the defense objecting to her, saying she felt like when I would fight back, when I would say no, when I would push back in any way or whatever, to me, it felt like he was being more violent towards me, he wanted to push me harder. But again, the judge had overruled. How would Sean act if you fought back? She said anger. They then showed some more the video of the hotel incident. And they said, well, who entered? She said, Sean, what was in his hand? At first, nothing. Then you see that he had her phone. So that showed that he walked up to her, grabbed her phone, and snatched it from her. How did he get it? He took all my stuff. Where does he end up? Sitting in a chair in front of the window. And what you doing? I'm walking away from him. So even in the video, again, like I said, even though, you know, we seen the violent portion of it before, him walking up, grabbing her by the head, stashing the back. So we had already seen that part. Even the part of him just sitting in the chair, it still is crazy because he still comes off as a psychopath. Because how are you that calm after just assaulting somebody in the hallway of a hotel? So you do see him sit down, you do see her walk away, but then you see security walks up, and then she walks one way, Diddy walks one way, and security goes and follows where the Diddy walks. Um, they asked her where did she go from the hotel because she didn't leave the hotel. She went to her house, took an Uber. She sent a text from him. Diddy kept texting her during this time saying, hey, please call me, please come back. I'm surrounded, meaning the police, security, and all those folks were there. Again, stuff that he sent. She told him, I told him put a robe on because walk around a towel. She then wrote to him, well, Jews left. Okay, as long as you're quiet, you can stay. Meaning the police security will not put you out. I'm gone now. We're not fussing no more now. You could do what you calling me for? Leave me be or whatever, okay? They said who were Jews. Jews was the escort who was there during the freak off. So they show a picture of Jews, okay? They then show a picture of Cassie in big sunglasses or whatever, and she does to me in a selfie of me with a fat lip because he punched her in the face. When did you take it? In the Uber or on my phone? So even when she left the hotel that night of the altercation, she bruised her face. What did you write here? I said, please stay away from me. And what does he say? He says, I'm getting arrested. Even him trying to convince her to feel bad for him. I'm getting arrested. I'm by myself. So he's sending her things to try to lure her to come back to the hotel. And the ASA asked, was he getting arrested? She's like, I don't think so. What did you write back? I wrote back, I'm plucking my phone and I'm going to bed. Meaning you didn't beat me up, drag me to the hotel. I'm not coming back, leave me alone. Okay, I don't want to be back there no more. So she then says when she got to her house, her friend Carrie Morgan was there who was upset when she saw me, and she called the police. So her friend was one who called the police. At the hotel, that was the security of the hotel. She said she did speak to the police, but they left because she was not ready to tell them who did it, what for, and why. Okay. Did Sean come to your apartment that night? Yep, he sure did. He was banging on my door. That was pretty normal for him, but that's a private building, so it wasn't much other things going on. Did you hear from KK? Miss Korean, they call her KK. And if you watch when Diddy was inducted into, I think it was like the MTV award for like a lifetime achievement or whatever that Diddy got a couple like maybe 2-3 years ago, whatever. And he was thanking people at the end. He did thank someone named KK. He thanked KK. He thanked Rorian Gibson. He thanked Cassie, bringing up how he was in a dark, dark place. Again, I feel like child, we just did not know he was in a dark ass place. So she did hear from KK. She also wanted to go see D-Rock, who was Suge, who was Diddy's security, and his wife to try to feel safe. They then show a photograph of her. I'm in a gown and sunglasses because I had a black eye. Whether any of the bruising was visible. She said I had several bruises on my leg, but I changed clothes, meaning I would be bruised up around folk and no one knew because I was covered up. I either had other clothes, because if you have a black eye, you have on shades. If there's bruises on your arms, you wear long sleeves. So again, her saying, yeah, I had a lot of bruises, but I just changed clothes. So no one would see all the bruising. And then it was a picture of her and Sean, her and Diddy at a party. He then, the prosecutor then shows her some photographs of some escorts and asked her to name them and that kind of stuff. Do you know the name of this person? She said, no. And what cities did you use him? New York. Who was this? Some man named Islander. He was a Latino man. He was on Latino men. Did he like men? In my opinion, I think Diddy. Because at one point later on, she does say that she felt like, in a way, he used her to take on the shame that he probably felt because of what he liked. So even her, like, I'm having to find these men, Latin men, black men, white men, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But all these men. But we use him in LA and maybe in Vegas. Then somebody named Tommy. Someone named Greg who was an escort in Miami. Somebody named Jonathan who was also in Miami. Then another dude who was in a baseball cap whose name she did not know, but she had knew they had freak offs with him too. So they then asked, what did you write here in the text? She said, this is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. I feel like, did Kim also do freak offs? You know what I'm saying? I feel like, because her saying, like, just call Kim. If you want to do stuff, you want to be with someone, go do that with her. Leave me alone or whatever. They then asked her, what did you mean by this is all we do? She said, I meant we all do these freak offs. But you tried to avoid anything in the freak offs. I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate, but Sean told me to do it. Kiss the escorts. Look, there's things that you just should not do in porn and hookering or whatever. I feel like you should never kiss the hooker. You should never, because if they are a hooker, if they are a male hooker, okay, that means they're with other people. Like, I don't want to kiss you, but her thing was, he made me kiss the escorts. What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday? A freak off. He pulled me out of the Blind Dragon for the freak off, with some security. What about Blackmail material? She said he wanted me to fear and accept objection, overruled. When was Sean mention the freak offs? To hurt me, meaning he mentions what we do. He will mention it knowing I don't want it out. You know what I'm saying? So he has me doing all these freaky, because again, if all Diddy is doing in these videos is he's just on the sideline, masturbating or whatever, it's not as if he is this deviant person. He's just watching this girl have sex. So to me, it was a way of him using her to get his rocks off in public. Okay. And I remember someone else brought up her being dragged away at her party before. I think it was that Tiffany. It was a producer girl. Okay. She then says, one time I was dating someone else and he threatened to release the freak off videos. I'd have to answer to my mother. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone. What did Sean say the impact would be? He said shame. Because truthfully, had he put out those videos, had anyone else seen those videos, it would not have been, oh, Diddy girlfriend. It would have been embarrassing for her. It would not have been embarrassing for Diddy. It would not have been an issue for him. It would have strictly been an issue for her. And that's why he knew the threat was real. Because even back in the day, you could not be a woman and be free with your body. You could not be free with your freak flag flying. If someone felt like you was a dirty, dirty girl, then they looked at you that way, and then you have less respect in the industry because, oh, that's the freak. That's Cassie. She's a freak. You know what I'm saying? So her not wanting anyone to know that, he knew to scare her to thinking they're gonna shame you. They then read a text from July of 2013. She read her thing. She said, I wrote, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices. He said, no iCloud. All good, Ambien kicking in. In 2013, I feel like that was 12 years ago? If you had stuff on your phone and it linked to other things, you would be terrified if someone, even like Charlotte, even now, I'd be like, please delete that. I'd be like, I'm careful when I hit send. I'm saying, I'm always telling him, I'm so careful when I text you because I don't want it to go. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing. So like, you have to be careful now. So back then, because they're celebrities, so that may be even worse. They had a little sidebar. Hold And they had a sidebar because they had a privacy screens. Because again, they do not want anyone except the jury seeing some of these explicit pictures and everything. So they had like a privacy screen up that they were saying was the issue, but they're gonna get it fixed. Okay, so they get back to Cassie in these texts. What did you say here? She said, I said, I've been told there was a sex explicit video out there about me, and I reached out to Sean. We were going back to New York from Atlantic City to see DJ Who Kid. And then they went to a restaurant. So I read this somewhere else. So she was saying that because she had heard about some explicit video, or whatever, and she reached out to Diddy saying, "Hey, what's going on? I heard of something else about me." So Diddy had her and security go to a restaurant with the person who supposedly had this video. Okay. And she said, I brought security to intimidate them. They were invited in the room. Who was there? It's Uncle Paulie, James Cruz. How would you, they skipped over that part anyway. So again, whatever video they had, it did not come out. How would you recover from a freak off? She said, I would take opiates. I wanted to feel numb. We got massages, IV fluid, the chief. The chef will cook us something. I feel like even her having to recuperate, rebuild her body up to just even get back on the level playing field because of these freak offs. And again, I have to take drugs. Okay. I'm having, IV fluids put up in me. I'm having to get massages because my body is sore. How often did you take opioids after freak offs? Often. I got UTIs. So she was getting urinary tract infections because she was having these sex phase. Okay. Well, the UTI is painful. She said very painful. Antibacterial medication did not work anymore, meaning her body was getting so toxic. The general medication that you use for a repetitive infections, if you keep having the same infection and you keep using the same medication, your body will eventually become accustomed to it. So it won't really help you anymore. So her point in saying, it got bad because the medication didn't work anymore. How did it feel during freak offs? Burning. I would not advise it. I feel like when people try to say, oh, she wanted it. Oh, she enjoyed it. Oh, she wanted the access. She wanted to be. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Because as she's detailing the freak offs, none of it currently sounds pleasurable. Now, the first one or two probably were fun. Once you're into numbers 58 and 1,000, it's not fun no more. So I feel like the way she's saying, like I had UTIs, I needed to recuperate or whatever. Bernie, okay, having a UTI, and yesterday we discussed him having her had sex on her period. So today, knowing that she was having to have these freak offs while having a UTI that could not be remedied. Okay. So it was burning. I'm like, that's not for her pleasure. That is the man who's getting some kind of pleasure, and then Diddy for watching it. But she's not even feeling pleasure. It's burning her. Okay. They then read a text out loud where she says, I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI. They then asked, what sore? She said, friction in my mouth. They say, from what? She said, from oral sex. So again, how is any of this pleasurable for her? She has UTI, which burn. She has friction in her mouth. So her mouth is basically her mouth was raw because of friction. Your skin gets raw. You have little sores. So her saying, I have sores in my mouth because of the friction from so much dick sucking. It's insane. Okay. The then said you said another UTI been savage. She said I was open with him about them, meaning Diddy knew what her body was going through. He knew that she had the UTIs. He knew that she had these. Her mouth was raw, and he was still like, oh, well, let's go ahead and keep doing it. Okay. They said, so you feel sick. Why are you so it was a text between them, so her saying to him, I got these sores in my mouth, I got UGI, and him asking her, so you feel sick? She said, why are you sorry? Hers, like, I was trying to, because I usually take the blame. I want him to say, like, nigga, do you feel sorry for me? Okay. Which escort would you go to sex club with? You and Sean. She said Jules. The Jules is the same guy who it seemed like they had the most freak offs with. Because he was the guy at the hotel that day. Did you want to have sex with Jules ever? And she laughed and said no, but I knew him. Why did you do it? Sean. Diddy. Okay. Who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freakouts? Sometimes the escort was there too. Jules in the same room, in the same suites. Okay. Were they aware? She said yes. The escort would ask me if I'm okay afterward. In what cities did he put his hands on you? In New York, LA, Miami. They asked how frequently. Too frequently. The fact that it was a continuous thing. It was an ongoing thing. She also brought up a club called the Abbey, a gay club, that she went with her friends. Um, she brings up she went to a music festival ran by Drake in Canada. Had Diddy came to her house and tried to attack her. I was thrown into a bed frame. Now, in this part, I believe it was a bit more explained in a separate post. When he came to the house, I think she was asleep. Two friends were there, and Diddy was like throwing Cassie around. Her two friends like jumped on Diddy's back. He threw them around too and stuff. Okay, so it was a photo from that, and the photo was of one of her eye after that attack because he attacked her, and she ended up being thrown into the bed frame and her eye got messed up. So she said that D Rock took her to the hospital. Did you send this photo to Sean? He said yes, and I wrote so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it at least. In the photo, where are you? In the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to heaven. So a lot of times I think we saw her with her hair over her eye, wearing shades. So, this us not knowing that she was trying to hide bruises. Sean wanted to have a freak off in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort. Which one? She said, Dave, I took GHB. I went into a G hole. I don't know what a G hole is. I'm assuming she means she took GHB and she went to a downward spiral because she was being so high. She then said, I went into a G hole and I blacked out. I woke up nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty. Then what? I spoke to a friend of Sean's, and then we had a freak off. They then showed them the picture. It's my eyebrow healed up a little bit. A week later, I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow. And they say in court, she brought up how there's a permanent bruise above her eye that she covered with makeup that he, gave her. They went to cons, and at cons, over there in France and whatnot. Diddy accused me of taking drugs from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was on the boat. And she also was on the red carpet at night. She went to a movie premiere as well. She did get back to New York because she took a flight, and that she changed her seat. Okay. But once she traded her seat, he then traded seats as well to sit next to her. So again, it's just her giving examples of I am being moved around from city to city, state to state, overseas. I'm expected to have these sexual parties and these sexual games and these sexual flings, these men. The men are being paid, and I ain't being used to fuck these dudes. Okay? And when I try to get away from him, he just comes and sit next to me anyway. Okay? And they said, what did he show you? Freak out videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he released them. So that's them trying to point out how he's basically putting a fear in her, scaring her, threatening her to, hey, if you don't do what I want to do, I'm going to release these videos. How did you feel? I felt trapped. Okay. When she got to LA, we went to dinner. He then wanted to have a freak off, so we had a freak off. What did you know? Why did you do it? To make him happy. I'm sorry. Why did you do it? To make him not threaten me. And again, they're trying the defense wants people to think she wanted this, and she's saying I did not want it. He's threatening me with these videos. He's beating me up and everything. I don't have a choice. But then bring up some text from 2013 and about she said, has Sean been violent with you before this? She said yes. Have you told him before you didn't want to do freak off? She said yes. You said you needed GHB. She said yes, because we had 2 escorts who weren't available. Okay, that was more freak off stuff. When would you take Valium before a freak off? When I had anxiety. Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was for him, I think. So even the fact that his team, his and this is also showing a pattern of the racketeering, because people in your organization is moving around, helping you, giving us drugs, taking you. So that is a way of showing it's an organization, because it's him, his staff, his driver, his security, his assistant. So it's people in his organization is doing all of this to her, or for him. But Diddy is the ringleader. He is in charge. So that is who it kind of come from. Now, they then went to lunch. Let me scroll down when they come back, because all of them back and forth in the court part, we don't need that part. Okay, they came back. They then show. Let me get down. Okay, so they then asked about a picture of someone, and it was a lady who worked for Diddy. They're gonna call her Mia. They didn't give her real name. They're gonna call her Mia. When you gave your devices to the government, weren't they working? She said no, they were broken. They put up a picture that only the jury could see of her skin and her being like oily or whatever. When did Diddy first hurt you physically? It started the first year. So again, she met him at 19. They were, I feel like, even though she said stuff happened when she was 21, I think it happened before. I think it happened around 19, 20. Okay. But her saying the abuse stuff happened, or him being physical with her, happened within the first year. What staffer was present when Sean was physical with you? They said defense, because it's physical is vague. Okay, punching, hitting. When he first used violence on you. In New York City, we were in a car with security, and he knocked me around. What did he do? He hit me in the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade. They then bring up an incident in 2009 about an event they went to in LA, and they asked what happened. She said, I have been speaking to a producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I have been drinking. So her like, I'm drinking. He called me a slut. So I hit him. Then in the car, okay, I was on the floor of the car, and he stomped on my face. How long did that last? She said about 10 minutes. I tried it away with Sean. Security brought me back. So again, another thing, people on the staff forcing me to be around. It's all a part of his organization, helping him do these things to me all the time. So again, his security forced me, brought me back. Okay, who was that person? She said Roger Bonds. Okay, he told me to go to the hotel. They snuck me into the hotel, covered up so that no one could see my face. How long were you at the London hotel? A week. Now, I think this came out in her lawsuit, that again, when he would beat her up, be abusive to her, how he would force her to stay at a hotel so that way no one could see her bruises, she can have time to heal up. So, at this point in time, a week, a little more, an assistant brought me some ice cream, an assistant named Genevieve. So again, Diddy's team, assistant, security, driver, people that work for him, helping him do these things to me, or helping to protect him against what he did to me. Okay. Did you feel you could leave the hotel? She said, no, I know no. Okay. He has access to guns, the threats, and all that shit. I don't want to do it. Um, when you were taken to the hotel after the assault, she said no. Did you know there was the assault was reported? She said, I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names. And her mom brought it up. Okay. She said this was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me, and I said no, I didn't want my mother knowing that. Okay. I did not want her knowing the danger around it or whatever. I did not want her involved. When you went to party with your girlfriends, what happened? I saw BT executives, and I heard that Sean was there, and I left. Ran fast. I gotta go. Okay, but I thought he was angry. Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? She said, yes, he beat me and called me names. My face was bruised. Okay, they then showed a photo of Scott's, well, Kid Cudi, okay, who his real name was Scott, who she dated in 2011. Because remember, even though she was with Diddy, she dated Kid Cudi as well. But then Diddy blew me and Karla up. So again, a photo of her and Kid Cudi. Sean found out, looking at her phone, okay, the fact that she was dating Kid Cudi, still having a freak offs with Diddy. I know it's gonna come up in cross examination, but I think at one point she said earlier on how they weren't exclusive. So if she went somewhere else, it's fine, fine, fine. He found out on my phone. He found an email, okay, about me taking my toiletry bag to Kid Cudi's house the next day. Sean put a wine opener, so a corkscrew, in his hand and threatened me. I called Kid Cudi on a burner phone. I went to Kid Cudi's house. I then talked to Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants. Again, his organization. I went to the house Sean was staying there. He told me he would release videos and hurt Kid Cudi and I. The freak out videos of me, he would release those. So again, I'm scared. Sean kicked me in the back and I got a bruise. I went to my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. So again, after he found out about me and Kid Cudi, after he, beat me up at the hotel and got me some bruises or whatever, I went back to my hotel room. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and did not flush it. It was gross. This was before Christmas. What kind of psychopath? But that's also why hotels be like, put your card on file because it is other things that you do that mess the room up. We need someone to pay for it. Okay. So coming back to my hotel room and seeing piss on the girl, nasty. She said she sent an email to her mom, Mr. Capricorn, who again is someone who works for Diddy, from my flight to Boston, Connecticut. That Sean said he will release the tape of me on Christmas, and he had Scott not hurts. He said that he could do it while he was out of the country. They then showed more photographs that her mama took of her with bruises on her back. Were you entirely honest with your mom about the abuse? She said, no, I told her it was the first time. So her mama don't even know the abuse is happening. The mama's unaware of what's going on. But the mama was thinking, okay, these bruises is the first time you've done something, but I didn't want her to know. Okay. Did you tell her about the freak off? She said no. Cassie then asked for a break. So they took a break. Okay. They came back and they asked, did anyone see you in Connecticut? She said Scott did. So Scott is Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi did. For a few days, I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous. Sean said he would hurt both of us. Where did you go after Connecticut? I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona with a son in college. I told my mom I was going back to LA for work. So she was lying to her mom because if mama know he beat me up this one time, okay, I don't want her to wonder why I'm going back. So she lied to the mama. And that happens. Whatever. Did Sean talk about Scott's car? She said Sean said he wanted Scott's friend to see Scott's car blown up. Now, we all know it was Kid Cudi's car was blown up. Okay? That is public knowledge. Now, they didn't say that Diddy did it, but I think they saying that Diddy did it. Okay? So, again, did they mention, did Diddy talk about Sean's car? Sean said he wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see his car blown up. What happened next? The car got blown up. Okay. But she then said we met with Sean. So me, Diddy, Kid Cudi met up. Kid Cudi asked, what about my car? And Diddy said, what car? What happened? Okay. They then was in Jamaica. He beat up in Jamaica. Let's see. She was bruised from the trip in Jamaica. He beat her up in a bathroom in 2015. She's recuperating in Vegas. They had an after party in our suite. I talked to producer Sean, tapped me on the shoulder, called me to the room, and he beat me up. Kicked me to try to hide behind the toilet. D-Rock and James Cruz came in. It made D-Rock sad. D-Rock then said, it's time to ice your face because I was beaten up. Were all of these times he beat you up? She said, no, there were more. Who else did you see Sean be vibing with? She said, I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Eli in the head. One time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged somebody. I believe he had a freak off in Turks and Caicos. The then break up time where a friend was with her, and Diddy came over there and threw the friend like over into the patio furniture, out on a balcony. I think this is the girl who the girl said that Diddy like dangled her off the balcony. She said yes, he came in, threw her over there, whatever. I saw Sean bring her back in from over the balcony, then throw her on the patio furniture. I saw Sean hit my friend Carrie working in the head. Did you get drugs on your own? So occasionally I would get opioids, Xanax, and Valium. Sean Diddy will put pills in the vitamin C bottle on the sink in the New York apartment. He said you can take them. He had doctors who would write scripts in the name of assistants or in my name too. Again, this is all a part of is an organization. It's him, assistants, security, now doctors, nurses, all these people who were helping him do these things. Your brother's birthday party in Connecticut, what happened back in 2013? My mom told me someone was taking the pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head. You testified your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health? I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. They then showed a picture of her door from 2018. Why is there a knife there? Sean was coming around a lot, so I had a knife. What happened in August 2018? We were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. She was seeing at that time her now husband, Alex. What happened next? Sean Diddy came to my house and R'd me in the living room on the floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. You cried. What did Sean do? He continued and finished inside of me, got up and he left. So I think she wrote about that in that book as well. Did you ever have sex with him again? She said, yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. Can you explain why you did that after he R'd you? We had been there for 10 years. Who did you stay with? Who did you stay in touch with? Most people, though, I pulled away. What did you message Sean about after that? They're checking in. What did he send you? That he had iPads full of images. Give him his money. Money back for what? For having paid my now husband to be my trainer. Remember when she got with Alex, Diddy had hired Alex to be her trainer. And so Diddy saying, hey, I paid that man to train you, but you're not with him. I want the money back that I paid him. What did you write back? I said, do you want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse more than the freak offs. There was a time I couldn't take the pain. Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy, meaning she tried to kill herself. Which is I think by the time she left Diddy and was with Alex and was trying to heal from, release herself from his grips. Her admitting that I just, I'm sleepwalking, I'm not myself, and I want to just end it all. But luckily, my husband did not let me do that. Did you write a book with chapters? My mom helped. What did you want with the book? That Sean read it. Okay. What pain did Sean put you through? Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. I was expected. I was. It was expected of me. I felt terrible. So even her now being able to verbalize, he had me do all this shit to humiliate me because of his kinks. So he had me carry his shame. And it started when I was a kid, 20 years old or whatever, and it's kind of fucked up. How did you get chapters to Sean? Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. I asked her if he read it, and she said it was not taken seriously. How much did you add for the book? 30 mil. So when that story came out last year, November, that was it last year, November, I think it was. But when the story came out about her in the book, and we kept hearing 30 mil, 30 mil, 30 mil, I was like, maybe the 30 mil wasn't true. But she said, no, 30 million. Did you sue? Yep, in November. Oh, it's 2023. Yeah, November 2023. What happened with the lawsuit? It settled for $20 million in a day. So the fact that we now know Diddy paid Cassie $20 million to not have more stuff become public knowledge, and now they're in court. And all of it is public knowledge. I feel like Cassie won. Okay? Cassie won because he spent his life building up this reputation of being this great person, party, blah, 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 while terrorizing Cassie. Okay? And so she wrote about what happened. Okay? She wanted 30. He paid her 20 million in a 1 day settlement, and still she's on the stand exposing all of his shit. They then asked, why are you testifying in this trial? She said, I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I tried people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody. How many freak offs did you have? I don't know, hundreds. Okay. After you worked with Sean, did you ever do a freak off? She said no. And they said no for the questions. So that was really where it ended today. So again, today was not as crazy and as bad as I think yesterday was. Now again, that was just her conversation with the prosecution. The defense will be, asking questions tomorrow and probably Thursday and Friday. So she will be cross-examined the next 2 days. Again, she is 8 months pregnant. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to deal with. So I really do hope she can be okay. Now the families was around there. Hold on. Okay. Because we seen, his mama, child, she should be at home. Okay. But his mama, the son, the daughters did not show up today. I'm happy because the first 2 days of them having to hear what their daddy did is insane. But that's Kathy husband Alex leaving out the sad part of it all. I like the fact that he's there with her every day. I believe he knows what happened already, so it's fine. But I'm more happy that Diddy, who I don't know, whoever made the decision for the daughters to not be there. But at this point, it don't even matter. Because at this point, all the people know exactly what he's done. Enough of it is on. Child, I cannot imagine being in college and it's, child, my daddy is on the news, child, about wanting men's sperm on his nipples. Okay, he like to pee on. I could not imagine this. You paid Kathy $20 million. Take the plea deal. just to avoid everybody in your family having to sit through this trial. Because truthfully, I said before, I don't know if he gonna get a lot of time, but I don't see him getting off scot free. I don't see him getting off like, okay, it was nothing. I don't see that. And I feel like you did all of this and for what? She got 20 million. Your rep is ruined. Even if you don't go to prison, you will be in prison in life because you will never be able to live your life like before. Diddy can't throw no more parties. He can't partner with people. Now he gonna have to live off whatever money he already has. Okay, whatever he's already made, and well, he's gonna just sell stocks, sell bonds. Even if he does not go to prison, he will still be in a personal prison because of his life being so different now out here. He should just go to jail. But we shall see what happens tomorrow. I'm happy because I am tired from this morning. Okay. And stuff. So look, y'all make sure, okay, y'all like the video, okay, subscribe and stuff. Watch the content on I was live earlier today. There are other videos up, so make sure to go watch those. Depending on what conversations are had tomorrow, I will possibly be live tomorrow, or I may just wait to do it on Friday. I don't know, but it'll be content up some kind of way. Okay, I am gonna go chill out and stuff, but I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But I gotta go. Okay, bye.